FoodTok TV, how are we doing? My name is Benjamin, aka Cooking with Father Preneur. Welcome to the show of Chopping with Father. Typically, I am on Thursdays, but I am stepping in today to do some cooking for Friday evening, or Friday afternoon, depending on where you're looking at. I'm making a winter corn and cod chowder, so I'm very excited about that. How's everyone's day today? Hopefully, everyone's having a good day. Hey, Taylor, how are you? So, if you see my lives, I always typically start off with one thing. I always start off with some bacon. I like bacon. I like to put bacon in everything I can. And hopefully everyone's having a good day. If you might let me know where you're all from, I'd appreciate it. Once again, my name is Benjamin from Arizona, and you're tuning to FoodTok TV. We are the longest running live cooking show on TikTok. We do daily, and I am going to be making a winter corn chowder. I am stepping in today for Maggie, who normally goes live on Fridays. I go live on Thursdays, and I'm excited to be here. And I am be making a winter corn cod chowder. Just like always, I'm starting off with some bacon, and I'm doing lardon style. I'm going to be chopping into little strips of bacon. Pretty much, if you heard me say this before, lardons are a fancy way to say strips of bacon. And just gonna throw in some pan. I have a pan that's already been warm. It's been heating up. So all I'm going to do is put my bacon in my pan. You should be able to hear that sizzle. That's a good sign that your pan was hot enough. So a lot of times what happens when people are cooking, unfortunately, their pan is not hot enough and steaming starts happening instead of searing. So hopefully everyone's having a good day. Where's everyone from? Happy to be learning from this live. Oh, I'm glad. Thank you. I appreciate that. Becky, how are you? Chris, Taylor, is it Husala or Husala? Becky, how are you doing? Yes, I'm starting off with some bacon like always. If you like bacon, give me a bacon emoji if you love bacon as much as I do. I mean, I am trying to make a cologne out of bacon. Let's just put it that way. That's how much I love bacon. But I try to find any reason to put it in. But hopefully everyone's having a good Friday. What's the special plans for today? PA. Okay, perfect. Now I gotta work on cutting up some vegetables. So let me get my cutting board and let me bring this over here. Awesome. So first step, I need to cut up some onion. So I might start crying a little bit. Just know that it's the onions that might make me cry a little bit. Hopefully everyone's having a good day. So I got a couple people saying bacon, crispy bacon, ASMR. Okay, perfect. So onions, I am going to be dicing these onions. And what's always helpful when you're cutting fruits and vegetables, always have a little bowl for trash and stuff like that. But yeah, if you're able to tap the screen, that'd be great. If you can help, let's see if we can get to about 5,000 in the next 10 minutes. What do you guys say? So I'm going to be using this whole onion, a whole yellow onion, also known as a brown onion. It could also be known as a Spanish onion. There's a lot of different names for this type of onion. And the goal is right now, so you take the skin off. Don't need that outer shell. I do save all of this for stock. If you happen to be seeing my live yesterday, in my own personal live, I made chicken stock from scratch. Took a whole carcass, broke it down, made some stock. So I save all this for stuff that I can use. No reason to throw away food. You can save a lot of money by saving things and reusing it, and you don't have to go buy a carton of stock. I said I can see Mason B. Okay, got bacon on it. Tap 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 tap. Don't cry, Father. You know the tears, Chris, are already started. I'll tell you right now, they have already started. But here, I'll bring you over here so you can see me. I'm bringing you down here so you don't see me cry, but you can see me chop. But yeah, I'll tell you right now, those tears are starting now. So I want to get these diced. It's not necessarily a special dice. It doesn't have to be like extremely fine. It's just more of a diced enough so that I can saute them and I can cook it. Like I said, if you're tuning in right now, you're tuning into FoodTok TV. I am cooking with Father Preneur. My show is called Choppin' Father. Typically, I am on Thursdays. I have stepped in today to help out. One of our creators was unavailable today, Maggie, and she's technically the substitute teacher. So I am actually substituting for her today. It's ironic. There was a funny joke that was said earlier. They said, will I be using garlic as a substitute? Because if you see a lot of my content, I'm always like anti-garlic. So I thought that was hilarious. But I see Melissa here, who's another fellow content creator on FoodTok TV. She goes on Monday. She is Spice is Right on Monday with her and her husband Mark. So they do a lovely show. And look at the tears are already started. So yeah, so just know that I'm crying because I'm crying because of the onions. So it's okay. You know, every now and then you need a good tear jerker. You know what I mean? You guys agree with that statement? Okay. Looking. I'm looking. What are you looking at? If you need to put onions in your fridge, yeah, you know what? That's if you think in advance, Chris. Sometimes I don't think in advance. Also, putting it in the freezer does help. What are some other techniques or tips you guys recommend to prevent crying when you're cutting onions? What's your guys' opinion? What are some other techniques and tips that you guys have to prevent you crying when you're cutting onions? What have you done in the past for jarness? What is that? Let me see. Cats, dogs, and what do? I make stock out of all my vegetable scraps and bones. I never. That's awesome. I'm so glad you do that. I wish everyone would do that. It is unless you're on vacationing or something like that. Okay, then I can understand buying a carton. But if you have the capability to do it, please do. Okay, I'm gonna move you up here real quick, and I'm just gonna wipe my tears. It's it's just the onions. Sometimes it happens.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Alexa, it's okay. I don't think you can help me with my crying, so she's asking how she can help me with my crying.
Great.
But let me put my onions away. You know, while I'm putting my onions away, so it's nothing too exciting, I'm gonna let you look at the bacon. So we're just having some bacon cooked, just in a stainless steel pan. Nothing too exciting, but it's just I just need to get that somewhat crispy. I know it's always in the way. Have someone else do. Okay, so Teresa is the smart one, everyone. The way you get someone, the way you get, the way you not cry when you're cutting onions is to allow someone else to do it. That is very smart. I like that idea. But is everyone having a good Friday today? Everyone having a good Friday? If you don't mind telling me, give me a thumbs up if your Friday's going well. And if this is your first time to FoodTokTV, can you also let us know this is your first time? I'd appreciate knowing this if it's your first time here. So everyone, just so you know, tomorrow we were supposed to have a grub match challenge, which is a cooking culinary competition we do on FoodTok, where a competitor challenges a contestant from FoodTok TV. Unfortunately, it had to be rescheduled. The challenger, the contestant Lena, was unavailable due to a family situation, so we will be rescheduling that. So look forward to having that coming eventually. It'll be here eventually. And we check out the bacon. Hey, Melissa Hollywood, how are you? What is the Plans? What are everyone's plans for the weekend? What's everyone's plans for the weekend today? Anything happening? Who's gonna watch the fight tonight? Tonight's that Mike Tyson and the other guy. That's gonna be an interesting thing, right? I kind of want to buy Netflix now just for that. I had it many years ago, but I got rid of it. Melissa says she's great, awesome. Okay, I'm gonna move you back up here if you don't mind. Have some celery I need to cut up. I have a bowl. I have to bowl tomorrow. My life is so exciting. Like bowling, like we're bowling ball, kingpin style. That's awesome. I like bowling. Okay. Sorry, I'm still crying because of the onions. Yes, 10 pin. Oh, that's awesome. So the chowder I'm making is it's a my version. Anytime I cook, I always say things are my version. What it is, it's a chowder that is made out of. It's gonna be cod. I'm gonna use cod, fresh cod, wild caught. I'm gonna put corn in it, and I happen to be just at the grocery store the other day, and I have to see wild cod. I don't think cod gets used enough. It's always used as a fried component. So I thought I would try to show people that it can be used in a way that's not fried. I mean, it's great. It's great in fish and chips. Don't get me wrong. I love me some fish and chips, but I do think cod can be more than just fish and chips. If that makes any sense. If you guys, okay, I see Melissa says she likes cod. Who else likes cod? Who else likes cod? If you don't mind, let me know. It's a great fish. I think you know what I would say for anyone who says I don't like fish that much. Cod is a fish that is a good entryway to get them to like fish, because a lot of people like judge fish based off salmon. Now salmon has a particular taste, right? And where cod is a mild fish, mild, flaky, it's a good entryway fish, I think. And so and it's great fried, but I think it's masked when it's fried. And for the one who says wash my fingers, I appreciate that. You know, the one thing is you you learn how to cut, and you just when you've been doing it so long, you get used to it. So here, let me give you a little tutorial on cutting for anyone who doesn't know. I'm not trying to offend anyone, but there's a technique. What it is, you're having your like, okay, I'm a right-handed person, so you're having your right hand speak to your left hand, and you don't even have to look. What you're doing is, I'll bring you down here so you guys can see it real quick. All I'm doing, I put my knuckle to the knife, and and I curl my fingers. My thumb is tucked in, and all I'm doing is I move my hand back, and it's just telling my hand where to go. It's telling my knife to go. So that's why I can look like this, and my hands are talking to each other. That's all it is. Now, I don't want you today to go and just start chopping, and try to do it not looking. But just practice slow. Practice looking down. It's just one finger's talking to the other. That's all, or one hand's talking to the other hand. So that's the technique. There's not a science method. There's no secret. That's all it is. And now the reason you curl your hand is because of the fact that you don't want to hurt yourself bad. Here's what I would tell you. I was in their hospitality business for over 20 years. If any chef says they never cut themselves, that was a chef who did not cook. Unfortunately, that does happen when you're using equipment. It just does. This limits the pain. This, you can hurt yourself a little bit, or you can lose. You're more likely to, if you have your hand flat, you're more likely to hurt yourself permanently. So just understand that's how it is. Okay. So now I got my onions chopped. I got my celery chopped. My bacon's almost done. I need to cut some potatoes. Who likes potatoes in their soups? Does anyone like potatoes in their soups? And let me see. I see there's some people here today. Let me know where you're all from. Edwin, what's the truth? I appreciate the information. What's the truth? What do you mean by what's that? What do you? So look at the bacon. It's getting crispier. How do you guys like your bacon? Are you a crispy type of bacon person, or are you like a medium bacon? What's your opinion of bacon? How do you like your bacon? I personally like it medium. Crispy. I like it. I could do crispy, but I prefer medium. I got crispy. It looks like crispy is winning today, man. So I'm outnumbered. Is there anyone on my side? Is there anyone willing to come to the dark side and do the medium bacon? Oh man. So I'm the only one, huh? That's fine. I'll stand alone against all of you. But I do like crispy too. I can do crispy too. I just prefer like a softer bacon. Now normally when I cook in bacon for like my house, I just cook it in the oven. Makes it a little easier. But I'm trying not to make sure it doesn't get burnt. So I'm gonna turn down the heat a little bit, and I'm gonna go over here and cut some green onions. Now here's a question. I call them green onions. Do you call them green onions, or do you call them scallions? What do you call them? I'm always curious on that. What do you guys call them? Green onions or scallions? Haven't cut myself yet. Okay, cool. That's awesome. I'm glad. That's always a good thing. I could do medium. Okay, cool. I got someone on my team. I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. So all I did with my green onions, I cut them in a diagonal form. So taking the same green onion, cutting a diagonal form gives it a different shape, just for garnishing purposes. So just knowing that you can take the same item and cut it in a diagonal form, and it can change the look and make the dish stand out a little bit better. While I put my green onions away, I'll let you watch some bacon time. And give me one moment while I do this. Okay, let's see how the bacon's looking. What do you guys think about it? Is it looking like crispy? Is it crispy enough for you, or you want it more crispy? What do you guys think? Bacon. Skinny onions. Very lucky still. That's fine. Hey, they'll happen. Unfortunately, happen again. More, a little bit more. Okay, cool. So yeah, so you guys do like it crispy. That's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna cut some potatoes right now. So I'm gonna move you up here. Just doing russets. These are already been cleaned. I already cleaned them. Now I don't buy a potato cleaner like a scrubber. I just get a towel. That's what we do in the restaurant business. You just clean them with a towel. You don't need to buy a special device to do that. So I think russets is a good potato to stew because they're in fact they're a little thicker. They can handle being stewed. So I think that's great. Handle braising. You guys like russet potatoes? What's your favorite potato? Do you guys have a particular potato? Hey Trini, how are you? Depending on what time you came in, my name is Benjamin, aka Cooking with Father Preneur. Also, I do typically my show on Thursdays, which is called Choppin with Father. You're tuning into FoodTok TV, and we are the longest running live cooking show daily on TikTok. Every day there is content creators in the chat right now. There is a few of them. If you don't mind saying who you are and your show and what day it is, I know we got Melissa here, we got Trini here, we also got Taylor here. So if you guys don't mind saying something, Prue has 150. Yes, you know what? You want to know something interesting? So Melissa Hollywood, you bring up a good thing about potatoes. There's a misunderstanding of potatoes, and people may not know this. So a lot of like the Irish culture gets a lot of like praise on potatoes. Potatoes actually originate from Peru, just like what Melissa says. That there's over 150 different types of different types of potatoes. Potatoes originally originated from Peru, actually. Like there's so many different types of Peruvian potatoes. So we can thank Peru for the fact that we have potatoes. So understand that. We grow potatoes also here in Finland. Oh, do you? Oh, you're from Finland. That's awesome. Okay, well, welcome. I appreciate that. What time is it in Finland? If you don't mind me asking. Okay, so we have the show is on Monday, 6 p.m. The Spice is Right on FoodTok TV. That's Melissa. She's amazing, has a great personality. Her and her husband Mark. They have a great show. She's from Texas. She cooks a lot of food that is a lot of some of it's Mexican inspired, some of it is Texas inspired. Lately, she's been on a poutine kick, which is awesome. I love seeing it. She was taught recently how to make poutine, and she's like poutine crazy, and it's awesome. It's beautiful. Trini, put your show up. Yeah, if you have a moment, and thank you all. Okay, perfect. Well, I appreciate you sharing that. Poutine is the best. I actually do love poutine, but I haven't had it enough, I think. But I can tell you this, you've been making me want to try it. I can tell you that. You've been definitely making me want to try it more than I would before. Now, I'm just checking on the bacon. Let's see if it's crispy enough for all of you now. What's your thoughts? Crispy enough now or no? So I know there's a lot of people here that like crispy. So the goal is to make a cod chowder, a cod corn chowder. Right now, I am going to be cooking up this bacon, and I am going to be putting all this into a bread bowl too. So this is going to be a process of getting this all ready. Typically, this soup could take more than an hour. The goal always is to be an hour show. So I'm going to do a couple little hacks to make it go quick. And we have Trini saying her show is on 7 p.m. Central, Spoonful of Simple. Jason, how are you? FTTV creators, how are you? Catherine said, I went live trying to cook something, but then TikTok thought I was, sometimes it happens. For soup, yes, done. Okay, that's what Becky says. Okay, for me, I actually am going to say this is done. I am happy with what I'm seeing. So I'm going to put a plate right here with the paper towel. I'm going to scoop it off. I am going to reserve some of this bacon fat. I don't necessarily need all of it, but I am going to reserve some of it. Now, I have two different pans here. I'm actually going to, this is a bigger pan. It's actually wider too and taller. I'm actually going to make the soup in there. By it being more narrow and also wider, that will allow me to cook the chowder quicker instead of being in a pot. It'll be more of an even cook. So that's how I'm going to be able to make this all within 1 hour. So that's something I can do. Now let's set this bacon aside for a little bit. I am going to put my bacon fats a little bit right here, so I don't need all of it. Okay. Wipe up my pan just in case. Then next, what I'm gonna do is add my onions, and that's all we're gonna do. Just do the onions right there, and let those saute for a little bit. Then I'm gonna actually bring you back up here so you can see me and all that. So that pan is looking to cook some more food. That pan is looking to cook some more food. Are you talking about the stainless steel pan, Melissa? Hi, Kaz. How are you doing? Nice to see you, Kaz. So what I'm going to do is on the bottom of this pan, there's little bits and pieces of the bacon fat and bacon parts, also known as fond. The onions will actually help lift it up by sauteing them naturally. It's just going to, because there's moisture in the onions. When you add onions to the pan, it actually releases the moisture, and adding salt releases the water out of the salt of the onions. So the goal is to have the moisture taken out of the onions, and which will affect the pan and take out the bottom parts of the pan, which will be used for the dish I'm going to be cooking eventually. Okay, try to make corn tortillas. Oh yeah, so the corn tortillas, that's a good recipe. So what do you all had for dinner tonight? Has everyone had anything exciting for dinner tonight, or lunch, or what are you planning to make or eat? If you don't mind telling me. And if you're new to here, let me know where you're from. And I see that we're at 4.8 taps. To see if we can get to 10. What do you say? Melissa Hollywood says she's hungry. What are you hungry for, Melissa? What are you hungry for, Melissa? Okay. I'm from Arizona. My friend told me to look you up. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm from Arizona too. What part of Arizona are you from? Got Sand Springs. Got Bondiga. Oh, Bondiga soup is great. Got ceviche. Ceviche is delicious. Waiting to eat some meat with my eyes. Okay, cool. Let me see. Now I'm gonna actually work on cutting up some cod. So I'm gonna move all this here. Let me get my cod out so I can cut it. And I have wild cod. I always recommend if you're in a position and you're able to get wild, I would always get it if you're able to. Everyone's different, but if you can definitely, you can afford it, please try to get wild, please. I feel that it's better tasting. Okay, so here's some wild cod. Let me cut this up. And then here's what we're gonna do. I'll show you how I cut this. I'll cut it to about about an inch and a half each piece. Okay. So all I'm gonna do is cut it because I want it kind of chunked into the dish. Now what I am gonna do also, I have another plate that I'm gonna be putting it into, and I'm not gonna necessarily need all this cod. I might make myself a little snack in a little bit with some of the leftover cod. So that's something I will do eventually. Yes, wild, the farm, raised fishes. It's just I just think there's a better taste, but it also depends on what you can get. But now here's the thing: there's also a misunderstanding that wild costs more. I mean, I have done cooking lives or not necessarily cooking lives, but I've done lives where I'm at the grocery store teaching people how to shop for groceries, and I've showed people that actually wild actually costs less than farm sometimes. The way we order food in the restaurant business, you order it based on what it costs per pound, not based on the sticker price. So the sticker price, you can make it say whatever you want, but it's based on what you spend per pound. You always want to focus what you're spending per pound. So just keep that in mind, okay? So tap tap. Yeah, if you guys want to tap it, I'd appreciate it. And now I'm done with this. Let me put this away. And give me 1 second while I clean up my station. If this is your first time seeing my live, you're gonna always see I clean as I go. Makes life a little easier when you're cooking, okay? It's life easier because when you're having to clean up after yourself, this is best as clean as you go. You also learn this in the restaurant business, clean as you go. Okay, I have my onions in there. They have been sauteing. I'm actually gonna add flour to this right now, and that's gonna be used as a thickener. Okay, by cooking the flour with the little bit of bacon fat in there and adding a little bit of butter, I'm going to create a roux, R-O-U-X. It's a fancy French term that just means it's going to create a thick paste sauce. It's a thick paste base that you could use for sauces or stews or soups. And it's going to thicken up everything. So that's all I'm doing right now is creating a roux with the onions, and slowly the flour get cooked out. Are you guys familiar? Always clean up? Yes. Always clean up. And let me show you. I'll actually show you what it looks like. If you don't mind taking a moment, I'm going to put you guys around my neck to show you what we're looking at. So this is what we're looking at right now. And letting time. It's going to cook slowly. I am going to eventually transfer it to this pan, but I am going to just finish one in here. Like I said, I'm going to use this large pan right here because I want to be able to make this dish all within 1 hour. And it's going to help me be able to speed up the process. So that's all I'm doing right now. Have any of you ever made a chowder before? Now, there's different varieties. Now, keep in mind, I don't live in the East Coast, and I'm not even saying it right. Technically, the word is, was it chowder? I can't say it correctly because I'm not from the East Coast. I'm in Arizona. But, okay, what am I making? I'm making a winter cod and corn chowder. That's the goal right now. And I'm going to serve it in a bread bowl. This is actually onions that I'm sauteing. And I'm making a roux with it because I added flour to it. So no, there's not rice. If that's that way, I believe that was a question I saw. There is no rice on this. Happy, how are you? Happy, nice to see you. I see that we're at 5.6K taps. That's great. Let's see if we get to 10. What do you guys say? Think we can do it? Hopefully everyone's having a great day. Thank you for tuning in to FoodTokTV. We are the longest running live cooking show on TikTok. We have daily shows every day. There's content creators on FoodTokTV. I happen to be one of them. Typically I'm on Thursdays, but I'm stepping in today. And there's content creators. Some of our content creators are already in this room as we speak. And we have every day. There's a Monday through Friday. There's 2 shows a day. Saturday there's 1 to 2 shows, and Sunday there's 1 show. We originally had a challenge called Grub Match that we're going to be doing tomorrow, which is a cool corner competition. I've had a chance to do it twice. Where it's a secret ingredient, and we have 1 hour to cook from scratch based on the secret ingredient. Unfortunately, it had to be rescheduled, so it's been postponed right now. But we will be doing it again. It's just a matter of when. We'll get there. But just know that we're looking forward to doing that, bringing that back. And it's going to be Lena versus RX, or also known as Guada. So that'll be done soon. Thank you for the follow, Donna. Appreciate that. Thank you for the follow. I hope you're having a great day. And these are saute just for a little bit more. I'm going to actually add my celery in right now. And then we'll go from there. Oh, thank you, Miss Turtle. Appreciate that. Miss Hollywood, thank you. Appreciate all that. And now I'm going to work on getting my other pan hot enough so I can transfer everything. And here's what I'm going to do. Okay. Give me 1 second while I transfer all this. And okay, here we go. Put this pan away and soap water. Thank you for the team braces. I appreciate that. And let me add some butter to this. Sometimes the butters want to come off. Okay, perfect. And see, we're at 3:28. Okay, that's perfect time. That lets me know we are right on time. I'm going to be able to finish this dish. I should be able to finish this right on time, so we're looking good. I appreciate you all tuning in. So if you're having a good Friday, can you give me a thumbs up? If you don't mind telling me. If you're having a good Friday, give me a thumbs up. If you're having a great Friday, give me a thumbs up. So I see Melissa saying yes, Sid saying yes, Sandra, Jacqueline, how are you? Catherine, happy. Okay, perfect. Now, what I am going to do to this dish, I am going to add my potatoes. And you know what? I'm not necessarily going to need all these potatoes. I might have done a little too much, which is fine. I'm going to show you. That's a good problem to have. If you actually cut too much potatoes, I'll show you what you can do with your other potatoes. in a little bit. Let me just. So all I'm gonna do is grab a Tupperware because the goal is to prevent it from oxidizing, which is turning brown. Once oxygen hits the potatoes, once you cut them, they oxidize. The best way to stop that process, just put in some water. Hey Jens, how you doing? Just literally put in some water. And what will happen also too by doing this, if you leave it in water over time, starches will start releasing of the potato. So it actually, if you were going to fry it, it'd actually make it crispier. So that is a little tip for you to be aware of. And now what I need to do, I'm actually going to bring you over here a little bit so you can see the cooking process. Oh yes, your favorite, Jens. So this is just what's in here is the sauteed onions. There's also the potatoes. I am going to add water. Now I didn't if I had shrimp stock or a fish stock, I would definitely do that. I'm also going to be adding clam juice. And because I live in Arizona, I don't have clams in my backyard. If I lived in an area where I can get fresh clams every single moment, I would definitely try to do that. But that's what you do in Arizona. So I'm going to turn up the heat. And next is I have a bouquet garnish of thyme. So what it is, I put the herb thyme. I wrap it around some like cooking string, and I put it in there. The reason I do this is so that when I want to pull this out, I can, and I don't have to go fishing for all the herbs. Okay, so it's just a method of cooking. I am going to add some salt, add some pepper, and we're gonna let this cook down for a little bit while that's happening, and then in a little bit I will add my other vegetables. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on getting my bread bowl set up. So if you recall, I said I will be putting this into a bread bowl. So here's what we're gonna do. I have a nice bowl right here, like a nice little loaf. Okay. Have you guys ever had soup or a chowder in a bread bowl? Have you guys ever had that before? Hey Babs, how you doing? So all I'm gonna do. Hey Michael, how you doing? Have you guys ever had? Yes, Chris, you did get it correctly earlier in my life. Have you guys ever had soup in a bread bowl? It's really simple. It's not too complicated. The goal is you want to kind of go in the middle side. So you don't want to go too deep in. The goal is to cut some of it out. You want to leave a good portion of the bread in because you need still the texture and the weight of the bread to hold the soup. Okay. So I'm just kind of going like a rectangle square shape, and that's all I'm doing. And but you can't go too deep though. It's trying to find the right balance. Now, if you were gonna serve quite a bit of people, just go ahead and buy smaller ones. Okay, I'm gonna pull this out the best that I can. Okay, I'm just cutting like this. Okay, so I cut the top off. Let me get a plate. Now you can use a spoon or you can use your hand. The goal is you can take out the inner part of the bread. Okay, so that's all I'm doing right now. Your ears being slow now. Okay. Oh, and someone said yes, clam chowder at Disney. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is possible to do in your own house. It's not too complicated. All I'm doing is hollowing it out. I mean, that's all I'm doing. If you want to taste the bread while you're at it, that's fine. Little snacks. Now, what I am going to do, so I'm leaving about an inch. I'm going to leave about an inch of the base in there. I can't go all the way to the bottom because when I put the soup in, I need to be able to let it still withstand and be able to not leak. But I am noticing I can cut out a little more to allow more soup. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna cut out a little more. And you could probably buy this done for you already, but I would not buy it. You would pay someone to do all this. So that looks like a good portion. I could probably go in a little more right there, which I'm gonna try to. Like I said, you still want to be able to have a boundary and stable enough to hold your soup. And preferably, typically when you do bread bowls, it's typically a cream-based soup. So like what the one I'm making is kind of a chowder, so that's what typically is going to be done. And here we go. So what do you think? Does that look like enough for a bowl of soup? What do you guys think? Hey Benny, do you think that looks like enough for a bowl? What's your guys' thoughts? Did you bake I did not bake the bread myself. I did not bake the bread myself. That's a great question though. So what I am gonna do is I need to toast it some more. So here's the thing about food, always understanding that you can always enhance it by doing simple things. I'm gonna get a little olive oil, okay, and I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper inside the bowl itself. Okay, I'm gonna check on my stew. Okay, it's needed to come to somewhere simmer. Okay, I'm gonna get my hand, just rub it in there, spread the salt and pepper. Perfect. Okay, then all I'm gonna do is put it in a baking sheet and bake it for about 10 minutes for right now. And we'll see what happens when it comes to 10 minutes. The point is, I need to make it toasty, especially the inside. I need to build a crust inside of it so when I pour liquid in it, it can withstand liquid being in there. Okay? Because otherwise, if I pour liquid in right now, it's gonna act like a sponge. And I don't want a sponge, I want kind of a barrier. So perfect. Put it in, set a timer, 10 minutes. Okay. Next is, if you look right here, let me bring you to the dish itself. You're gonna see that it's getting a little more thicker. I don't know if you can see it on your side. I can definitely see it on my side. You can see it's getting a little more cloudier because the reason it's getting cloudier is because of that roux I made. That's helping thicken up the dish itself. Can you see the cloudiness in it? Can you see that? It's due to the roux that I added to it. If you can see the cloudiness, can you let me know in the chat? I would appreciate it. Because keep in mind, I have not added cream to this yet. There's been no cream added to this dish at all, except for if you consider buttercream. But I mean, butter's dairy. But I have not added literally a liquid cream. I have not added milk. I have not added heavy cream at all. So this is naturally thick with the roux I made. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now I'm gonna bring you guys over here. Okay, you guys can see it. You guys are all perfect. I'm glad you can see it. Now put this away, and now it's clean up again. Clean up as you go. Cool. And then now we are going to start working on how much time I have. So who in here likes horchata? Can I ask you a question? Who in here likes horchata? Well, it will, Roy. It will get thicker over time too. It will get thicker over time. So that this is just the quick process of doing it. So it's only been cooking within that pan with the roux and liquid for about like 4 minutes, 5 minutes. So I actually do have. I was gonna make horchata this morning, and I said, you know what? I think the chat would probably like to see a way that they can do it themselves. So if you'd like to see how you can make horchata, a kind of a simple recipe, let me know in the chat. If you give me thumbs up, if I get at least 10 thumbs up, I'll show you how to make horchata. It's just a different way to make it. There's many different ways. It's a rice water drink, pretty much. Let me know if you'd like to see me how to make horchata. Okay, I got some. The Real MC, Melissa Hollywood, Catherine, and then someone, I think it says call. I can't see the whole name. Sandra, okay, I'm getting some thumbs ups. Any more thumbs ups? Okay. Well, perfect. So here's what I did. All my recipe is very simple. So what I do with my cuisine, anytime I want to cook something or make something, I will go look at like 4 to 5 different recipes online. And with my background of food and beverage and me being able to like kind of see how recipes are, I will kind of take the best in out of each recipe and fit my style. And this is a recipe I found for horchata, and I love it. So what's in this bowl is not dirty water. What it is, it's 1 1/3 cup of rice that I blend with 2 cinnamon sticks and 4 cups of water. And then I put it all into this. I did this morning. So you'd probably want to do this the night before, or at least if you have 6 hours in advance. You just let it sit in there and do its own thing. And what we're going to strain it right now. So I'm going to grab another bowl. I'm gonna show you how I strain it, okay? And then I need to find first of all, a strainer, a fine mesh strainer. I also need to use a cheesecloth because I am trying to hold back all of the cinnamon stick parts. I don't know if you ever tried swallowing cinnamon sticks. It's kind of like not a great feeling. And so I'm using cheesecloth. Yes, cheesecloth is used to make cheese. It's a way to release out liquid, but still keep the majority of the pulp in or the ingredients in. But my goal is to use it in a different way where I want the liquid to seep through all of this. So as you can see, it's see-through. Have any of you ever used cheesecloth before? Do any of you ever use cheesecloth in your own cooking? Let me know if you use cheesecloth in your own cooking. I'd appreciate knowing that. So what I'm going to do is just pour it in there. And you're going to see that it's going to hold everything back. And I'll show you in a few moments what it looks like. And now I'm just using my hand. You can't see it right now. But I'm just literally... Now, this rice, you could probably try using it to make like a rice, a rice pudding. You could try. I've never tried it before. I'm hesitant on trying that because of the chunks of cinnamon. So unfortunately, this is a rice that I will get rid of. But what I do with the cheesecloth, I lift this up and I'm going to squeeze it. Look at that liquid. I'm trying to get all that out. So my played a trick on me, powder cinnamon and try to swallow. I'm sorry, I don't understand the comment. Sorry, Babs, I don't understand the comment. But I know you're trying to tell me something. So I'm just trying to squeeze that liquid out. So this is the rice absorbed all of that, and the liquid absorbed the rice. Put that away. Okay. Now we still got a little more work to do, but that's one step. The next step is I need to check on my chowder. It's getting thicker as we speak. Okay. I need to get I actually use a can of evaporated milk and a can of sweetened condensed milk. And this is probably the first time people probably see me use cans often. I don't normally use cans, but I do ever do it every now and then in my own cooking. But when it comes to live cooking, I typically don't use cans. But this is all I'm going to do. This is a simple recipe, and I need to find a rubber spatula. So give me 1 second while I get a rubber spatula. Because when you're dealing with sweetened condensed milk, it's really thick, and I need to be able to get out this. Now, the way I cut my can, the way I did the can, I cut it on the side. The reason I cut it on the side is when I cut it on the side, I don't have to worry about cutting myself. So if you cut it the other way, you have a chance of hurting yourself. So just know that's a little tip. But all I'm going to do is get that in there. And here we go. So if you're tuning in, I am actually in the process of making a cod and corn chowder. But right now I'm showing you how to make some horchata. That is really simple. The hardest part is blending the rice and cinnamon and water in advance and letting it sit for a few hours. That's the hardest part. Now this is evaporated milk. And same concept. Pour that in there. Now with evaporated milk, you want to make sure you always shake up the can in advance. I did shake it up earlier before the live. So that's one thing I did do. And let me put this away. Okay, next step. Get some regular milk that you like. Whatever your milk of choice. Okay. And I'm going to add about a cup of milk. Eyeball it. And I'm going to get some vanilla extract. And I pour. So here's a little tip. I pour my vanilla extract into a bottle like this. So let me show you what I do actually. About a tablespoon roughly. So something I do to help extract flavor. So I pour my vanilla extract into a bottle like this, right? And then the bottle itself still has flavor of vanilla. So I fill up with sugar and I let the sugar get the flavor of the vanilla. So it's a way to me to enhance more vanilla flavor in the future. Then I'm going to grab my favorite whisk and just whisk it. Yes, yes. It would make dulce de leche. Um, I can't see the whole name. It says call. It would make dulce de leche. That is correct. What you're referring to would make something dulce de leche. And then now, because I used a a cheesecloth, it literally held back every part of cinnamon. There is cinnamon flavor in here, but when people have horchata, they're used to seeing like cinnamon powder, like cinnamon spots and speckles, right? So all you gotta do is grab some cinnamon. Hold on, let me check on my dish. It's looking good. Just add a little bit of cinnamon, just for that color. Now, this is not for flavor. The cinnamon is built into this drink. This is more for a look. Okay, that's just for the natural look that horchata typically has. Mix it up. Okay, I always have tasting spoons, so taste it real quick. It's delicious. Then what I do is grab my jars that I like to put them in, and okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. I have a bunch of mason jars that I always have, and grab a funnel, pour it in. And my timer's gonna go off any moment for my bread. So perfect. There we go. Timer's off. And I will save a little bit for a cocktail. If you see my channel or my lives, I'm always trying to drink. I'm always coming up with a reason to drink, so I'll be making a cocktail in a little bit with this. A simple one. And let me check on the bread. Cool. Okay. Next, can we touch it? I'm touching to see how hard it is. It's still a little soft. I'm gonna put it in a little bit longer. I'm gonna do 5 minutes now. It's telling me it needs 5 more minutes. So what I'm gonna do now, though, is because I need to make sure I can finish up on time. I need to start working on my cod. Cod does not take a long time to cook. That's why I'm doing it at the end. I'm first gonna add some corn. I'm gonna add about a cup and a half. I'm eyeballing it. And you can definitely add more depending on your preference on how much corn you like. Or if you don't like corn, you can substitute anything you would like for your dish. And when it comes to the cod, what I'm gonna do is salt and pepper. So here's what we do, okay? Salt, I'm gonna lie this all down on a plate. And salt. Now, because my left hand has touched the fish, typically I will use a pepper mill. But now my hand is dirty, so I need to use cracked pepper already. So that's the reason if you always see me cook, I'm always using one hand clean, one hand dirty. So that allows me to do multiple things. So it's just a little tip I do. You get used to doing that. Something you'll just learn doing in the restaurant business, literally. Okay, so that's that. Now I'm going to slowly add this into the mixture. So I want that to get cooked, but I'm not trying to boil the cod. I'm trying to cook it and steam it almost at the exact same time, and it's not going to take too long. I'm going to do the exact same thing in batches. Perfect. And once again, if you're tuning in, you're tuning into FoodTok TV, which we are the longest running live cooking show daily. We've been doing this since, I believe, 2021, I believe is the date. Started off with a Sunday show. Now we pretty much do it every day. Some days there's 2 shows a day. Sometimes there's even been 3. There's even been 3. I think last week we had 3 shows in one day. And I'm one of the content creators. Typically, I go live on Thursdays. My name is Benjamin, aka Cooking with Father Preneur. My show is typically called Choppin with Father. I'm stepping in today for one of our content creators who was unavailable. So we try to help out as much as we can. We are a very good team to help each other out. And even like Melissa yesterday, if Melissa's still in the chat, she went live last night, and she typically goes live on Mondays. But she was able to step in and do some amazing food. Okay, so perfect. So right now, well, I appreciate that. I appreciate those kind words. Right now, I'm washing my hands as we speak because I realize what I have touched. So that before I touch anything else, I got to know. So Diaz, just so you know, I have isn't Country in it? Oh, he's definitely here. Is he here right now? If he's here right now, yes. So yeah, Diaz, I was in food and beverage for over 20 years. I was a director of food and beverage, pretty much what meant I was a boss of everyone. I'm the one who had to deal with the health inspector. So I'm the one who had to deal with the health inspector, good and bad. Okay, this is a mixture of milk and cream. I'm adding it towards the end because I don't need to add it in the early stages. Okay, and that's going to give it this creamy look. So I'm going to slowly let this cook. And give me one moment. I'm just stirring it to make sure it's well done, or it's well in mixed together, I should say. Okay. I don't necessarily need to add all of it. And that's that. Let me put this away. So now it's time for the cocktail. I'll show you a simple thing that I do while this is cooking. What I do with my horchata, I grab a glass that I've had in the fridge that's cold. I grab some ice and just a little bit. Okay. I actually have raisins that I have let infuse with spiced rum. This might sound weird for some of you, but I'm going to show you, but I don't know. If you like raisins and you like rum, this is a good thing to do. So there's raisins in here that are infused with rum. They actually get plump, so they actually absorb all of that rum flavor. Put it on the bottom of my glass. I have my own rum right here that I spice. Like, so what I do is I buy rum and I spice it with a bunch of cinnamon sticks and other flavors that I like. And then normally I would use a jigger, but I'm home. We're gonna eyeball it. I'm gonna do about an ounce and a half. So this is rum that is spiced, and I actually have cinnamon sticks in there. I don't know if you can see the cinnamon sticks in there, but there is additional spices in there. And that's what I'm doing. Free pour, yes. Then I have my horchata right here. And let me turn this up. And what I'm going to do, this is like remaining leftover horchata. And my timer's going off, letting me know. Oh, look at that. That's perfect. Look at that. Perfect amount right there. So there's that. And then you can grab your spoon, give a little mix. And give me 1 second, and I'll show you one more step I would do. Let me check on the bread, though. Let's check on this bread. Bread is perfect. I'm going to leave it there for a little bit. Next step for the horchata, it's a preference. You don't have to do this. It's just more of an idea. But if you like nutmeg or you like other spices, here's what I'm going to show you what you can do to help enhance. So there's a sugar called pinlosil. It's a refined sugar that typically you find in Mexico. So I've heard people say it's Mexican brown sugar. Technically, it's not. What it is, pinlosil is literally unrefined sugar. It's sugar before it's processed. So, because brown sugar, if you're unfamiliar, brown sugar is literally just taking white granulated sugar and mixing it with molasses. That's brown sugar. So I actually add a little bit of this. I grate. So let me show you how it grates. It's a really cool. So I don't know if you can see it on your side. It's falling into there. Okay. That's what I do with that. Then get a little bit of nutmeg. If anyone who likes nutmeg. And then get a little bit of nutmeg. That's it. Now, nutmeg's a really strong spice. It literally, that little bit is perfect. I don't have to worry about doing more. And then, right here. And then you put your pinky out and you say, enjoy. And that's delicious. Okay, let me check on my dish to see how we are looking. It still needs a little bit more time. The fish is not, it's almost done. But I am going to taste it. So, tasting spoon. Always have a tasting spoon. You need to see what it tastes like. It's great. I need salt. Now, I use kosher salt. Always use kosher salt. I recommend. Table salt, you're more likely to over salt something if you use table salt, just so you know. Pepper, right here. Now, for anyone who likes chili flakes, add a little chili flakes. You like chili flakes? depending on your taste, your texture, and all you want to do. Now, something I am going to have to do this very moment, in order to show you the food, I need to clean up after myself. I have a little bit of a mess right here. I have a lot of things right here. So just excuse me a moment while I get this all cleaned up, okay? Hold on, now I'm trying to put this away. It's because my hands are full. When your hands are full, you got to be careful to make sure you don't do too much, okay? Okay. Let me see. There we go. Sorry, one moment while I get my life in order. And I'm going to get this will be my bowl. Oh, I have the puzzle piece right here. Give me 1 second. Awesome. Okay, perfect. Move this. Move this. Don't forget the bacon. Awesome. Okay, let me check on my chowder. It is cooking. Here, let's go. Let's look at the chowder. Go to bio. You will see whisk kickers follow. Awesome. This is for the chowder. So it is getting pretty much done. We're at the end for people. We're at the end. So how does that look so far for you? What's your guys' thoughts? How does that look? Okay. Gotta put all this stuff away. Oh, perfect. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. And now I'm just getting everything ready so I can show you guys the finished product. Okay. Now I'm actually gonna do something where I actually like chili. I like spice. So I'm actually gonna slice up some serrano chilies. For this dish, I'll add a couple serrano chilies. Just my preference. Add a little bit of chili to the dish. You don't have to add chili at all. Trust me, it's just more of a preference of choice. Okay, now I'm gonna test out the fish. Want to make sure it's flaky. Yep, very flaky. I'm barely touching it. It's flaking. I don't have to worry about it. So very happy with that. And I'm gonna let it sit in there for just a few more moments. Let it residual cook, and let me taste it again one more time. Make sure there's enough seasoning in it. My opinion, more pepper. And that'll be perfect. So once again, if you didn't get a chance to hear, thank you for tuning in for FoodTok TV. We are the longest running live daily cooking show on TikTok. We've been going strong since 2021. My name is Benjamin, aka Cook with Father Preneur. I'm one of the content creators. I've been doing it for about 4 to 5 weeks now. I stepping in for Maggie, who normally goes live today, and I'm having fun here with all of you. Does it taste fishy? No, it does not taste fishy. It tastes great. The flavor is there. So cod is a mild fish. That's the reason I picked cod too. It's not a strong flavor fish. It's really flaky. So, but that's a great question. Roy, it definitely, you know what? If I let it cook longer and longer and longer, it definitely would get thicker. But I'm definitely trying to do everything in 1 hour. The more you let it cook, the more it gets thicker. So here's a little tip. I need to serve it now. So what I'm going to do is, so if you notice the bread bowl, you see how it's moving everywhere? What do you guys recommend? How do I get the bread to stay? What are your thoughts? I will. Thank you, Chris. What are your guys' thoughts in order to get the bread to stay so it doesn't move? Let me hear your thoughts. What do you guys recommend? And I'm going to be saying something in a few moments. What up? So, a napkin, yes. But I am going to be wanting to eat this. I'm going to be wanting to eat this. So typically, Babs, you see me use a napkin, and I use that when I'm using a glass. So your thinking is correct, but think of it a little different. Okay, someone said paper towel, same concept. I'm going to be eating this, so I don't want to eat a paper towel. Okay, Miss Turtle is correct. Trini is correct. Nail it down. Technically, you are correct. That would work, but I want to eat it, so I don't know if I want to eat the nail. So technically, they're all good answers. So all I'm going to do is put a little bit of soup on the bottom. Literally kind of acts like a glue almost. It just helps. Just helps. Okay. It's not gonna be perfect, but it's less wiggly. Okay. Because I don't also want to make it too soggy, because then that's gonna be really bad. Okay. So now the goal is to put it into the bread bowl, and I will show you. I'll take you over here so you can actually see what it looks like. So because I like bacon, I'm gonna first put a couple pieces of bacon on the bottom, just a couple, because you're so many person saying, what are you doing with that bacon? You didn't put the bacon in. I am actually gonna add a little bit of green onions on the bottom for flavor. Now what I'm gonna do, well actually I need to take off my time. This is the reason why I do this. So look how easy it is to take it out now. I don't have to go hunting for each individual stem. Okay. And then all I'm gonna do is one ladle at a time. And the more I let this cook, the more thicker it will get. Also, you can add more roux. You can also not use necessary milk. You can use just heavy cream itself. And definitely the goal is always kind of show off the fish a little bit, since this is a cod stew. You definitely want to show off the fish itself. So that looks pretty good. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take you over here, and then we're not done yet. We're gonna top it with a little bit of bacon and do a little bit of green onion. And if you recall, I did diagonal cuts, so it gives it a different look. And I'll show you what that looks like in a few moments. So let me flip over the camera. Let me wipe my plate down. And here's what we do. So here we go. So here is what we have. This is a seafood, or not seafood, this is a winter cod corn chowder with bacon. And there's potatoes in there, there's corn, there's green onions. And then I made a horchata, but this is a horchata with some spiced rum. Kind of show you how simple it is. This was all able to be made in 1 hour. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate all your kind words. And I definitely use the bread bowl. Yes, I would be nice if I could make my own bread, but if you notice, look at that texture, the sound of it. You needed that nice crispiness to withstand the bread, in order to hold the soup. Where did I get the bowl from? The bread bowl? I just got it at my local grocery store. I happened last night to be looking for it, and I found the one I needed. Now, you could do this in your own household. No, it was like a local grocery store, just a literally local grocery store, like a Kroger local store. So I will end with this. I want to say thank you all for coming. I appreciate you being here. If you want to see my typical show, it's on Thursdays at 12 p.m. Central, Chopping Up with Father. Since every day in November, I've been doing like Thanksgiving idea themes. So next Thursday, I'll be doing an idea what you can do with sweet potatoes, not sweet potatoes, but savory, a savory component. I might be making some cranberry sauce, show you a different way to make cranberry sauce, and show you a couple other ideas. But I appreciate you all being here. But my show is every Thursday, Chopping Up with Father, and it's always at 12 p.m. Central. And I look forward to seeing you guys. And once again, this is a cod and corn chowder in a bread bowl. This is a horchata with some spiced rum. Actually, my main account. Yes, listen, everyone, I am sending a what up, homies, in the chat. If you could see that, I'll pin myself. Where am I at? If someone can help pin me, I believe I sent that what up, homies. Okay, there we go. This is my actual personal account. And if you're able to follow me, I'd appreciate it. I go live 5 to 6 days a week. I sometimes even go live twice a day. So please feel free to follow me and join my lives. Always showing you a lot of ways to cook different things, reuse things, save money in your household. But otherwise, I appreciate everyone being here. And Tyson, thank you for being here. I see you here. Tyson's my homie. So otherwise, everyone, Zoraida, I see you here. Thank you all. I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day, your evening. Take care.